We salute you. We do, Leesa. We do salute you. So you're watching the Get Busy Living podcast when I'm Dr. Scott Fox from 6 Sense Acupuncture and the Healthy Habits Club. And you're watching the Get Busy Living podcast. And we've got a wonderful guest today in Leesa Green. Leesa Green. So thank you so much, Leesa, for coming on and sharing some gold nuggets of information, which I'm looking forward to hearing about. So appreciate your time, mate.
Thanks, Dr. Scott. Happy to be here. Really happy. Thank you.
So I'll start off with my usual question. So tell us, Leesa, what gets you out of bed every morning?
You know what? I was thinking about this, and what gets me out of bed is people. Actually, people have driven me since I was a young woman. So helping people, and now helping people with preventing burnout and or dealing with burnout is really what helps me, and it really helps other people, and it really drives me. So I have a passion, real passion for helping people. So that's what gets me out of bed.
Well, thank you very much for helping the community and burnout. I'm seeing so much of it. And you're right. You're exactly right. And thank you so much for helping so many people with this. That is the real pandemic.
It is.
It's huge. Which is more of a pandemic. But anyway, I was going to say, so we appreciate that you're doing that for people, because it is affecting so many people now. And it's only going to get worse with time. I can see that. Yep. So I'll just go by your LinkedIn profile. So you're a health coach with Leesa Michelle Health Coaching. So tell us, how did you get into that? How did you get into health coaching?
Yeah, well, actually, if you told me years ago I was going to do this, I would have laughed, not being rude. But many, many years ago, I got really, really unwell. I was exhausted, couldn't think, overwhelmed with any little thing, brain fog, like you've no idea, bloated, everything. And I thought something's wrong. Went to the doctors and did some blood tests and came back that I actually had an autoimmune disease, actually a couple, and said, right, I didn't really want to do traditional medicine, and I ended up looking at healthy alternative modalities and functional medicine too, and changed basically the way I was living, the way I was eating, managing stress, etc. And it took me years to recover, actually, honestly, Dr. Scott, longer than I thought, because burnout is not just recovery that can happen overnight. It usually, you get there for a reason. But anyway, so that's what made me decide I want to help people with what I've learnt. I've been there, done that, and decided to get a health coaching certificate with Institute of Integrative Nutrition. Yeah.
Institute of Integrative Nutrition.
IIN Institute. Yeah, Integrative Nutrition. Right. Yeah.
So I'll just go back to that conversation you had with the doctor about your decision to say no. I'm not taking any more of your medication. What drove you to do that?
Well, honestly, it took a few visits and going to the hospital for general checks, and something in me. I've always looked at alternative modalities, including acupuncture. I love acupuncture, and I was like, this is not what I've ever done. And I decided, thank you for that. I'm going to look at my own way of healing. I can come back to that, of course, but this is what I intend to do. I had some not so happy doctors, but I'm a strong woman, and I said, thank you for that, but this is my body and I take it in my own hands. So I did that, and I'm very glad I did.
And it's not only the doctors, it's the chemists as well. What they ring you up, they say, oh, why aren't you filling your scripts? Why aren't you you are due for another script.
Yeah. And like I said to them, I had that, and I said, thank you very much for your advisement, but I'll do my own way. Yeah. You've just got to stop and say no. And for some people, pharmaceuticals, I'm not saying that at all, but for me, I was like, no, I wanted to try alternative modalities and functional medicine, which looks at diet, lifestyle. And at that stage for me, I really need to lift the game. My diet, lifestyle was not great. So, I'm glad I did that. I learn a lot.
Yeah, well, there's more. I've got a lot of questions about that. Absolutely. But it's the psyche. What I'm trying to get at is, you're very rare, Leesa. Why? Because you said no. I've been poked and prodded too many times now, and I'm not getting any results. Most people won't do that. They won't start questioning the people that we go to advice for.
No. And you know what? Before that, I used to see the doctor more than I should really wanted to, but I did. And I still looked at alternative, obviously, but this something in me went, no, this is not right. And I had no problem after a while. It took me a little while, Dr. Scott, but after a while, I'm like, no. And no was easy. And I actually went from doctor to doctor telling me I had one thing, then I had another, or that I was making it up and whatever. I heard it. I mean, I'd been there, done that. And I now have another doctor who's a functional doctor. It's incredible. But realize the power of diet, lifestyle is huge. And it's just too easy. For me, it was just too easy to pop a pill. I wanted to look at the fundamentals of what was wrong with me. And I wanted more and I demanded more. So I just said no. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to say. That behavior is very rare because it's indoctrinated into us to believe what the doctor tells us and what they say and what they believe, because that's what at the end of the day, they believe that what they're doing is the best for you.
Yeah.
But just because you believe something doesn't mean it's the right thing for everyone.
No.
So
everyone's different.
Absolutely, especially with health. Absolutely. And I mean, that's why we have 6 different blood types. Really?
Yep.
But we're all the same? No, it isn't. That's not true.
No, we're not. And everyone reacts to things differently. And it's quite complex in a lot of ways. Our bodies are complex, but they are to a degree, but it's also simple steps that can really make a difference. But it's trust in yourself to be able to do that. It's a big thing. But I've been there.
And that's what I'm saying is that you had the belief in yourself.
Yeah.
Say, hey, there's something different out there than what I've been told. Because this is what I was told too. I was told the same thing as an early age, is that I should go and see the GP. Don't go and see the Chinese medicine doctor. What are you doing?
Yep.
So and that's really tough to break that mentality.
It is. Yeah.
Because mum and dad told me to do it.
It is, Dr. Scott. And honestly, sometimes people have so much information, have had so much indoctrination and everything else and heard certain narratives that you've just got to be careful you don't do that yourself. So you just got to break it down, I always do one step at a time. People are overwhelmed, they're burnt out as it is, or just had enough. And then they've got all these issues with the medical fraternity and they don't know what to do. So I've got to be mindful of that as well. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you had the even tougher step of saying, I've got to walk away from mainstream medicine. And now I have to go off on my own and find my own answers. That's even tougher again.
Yeah.
Because where do you start?
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
But you've already sort of given us a tip on where to start.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, honestly, where I started, and I mean, not just saying that because of where I am with you on the podcast, but I started with modalities like acupuncture because I needed to regulate my nervous system, and that really calmed my nervous system down. Sleep was a huge factor. I had troubles with sleep, and so I did small habits at a time, and then eventually nutrition and everything else and gut health, etc. But it was small steps because my body could not handle too many things, but I knew that I had to do it a different way, and I'm really glad I did.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So tell us about that journey. What did you start off with first? Did you start off with nutrition?
Yeah, I'm just trying to go back. Honestly, I actually went to a naturopath. It was phenomenal. And I did a whole liver detox, gut health, organic foods, filtered water. I mean, all the things that I used to do sort of, but not to the extent I did then. It changed in 2 weeks, everything. I couldn't believe it. I had a lot of my symptoms are gone. In fact, most of them are gone. And then I got a Herxheimer reaction, so I panicked with that, and then I didn't stick to it. Anyway, lots of things happened, but I did start nutrition, supplementation, acupuncture, good sleep, incredible detox, you name it. I just detoxed everything. It was amazing. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I
Okay.
did that. Yeah.
So what about nutrition? What was there things that you cut out, or was there something that you introduced?
Yeah. So I've always had an issue with gluten, and I decided, oh yeah, I'll get back on it. Really, I actually feel I'm a celiac, so I'm that bad with gluten. I got off gluten, dairy, a lot of grains. Honestly, I just ate seafood, good quality vegetables, salads and meats, grass-fed meats, and wild-caught salmon, etc., and just had green juices, really good drinks like water and dandelion tea, all sorts of stuff that really filtered the detox pathways in the liver. And I did a whole detox, but it was amazing. Yeah. And I had a really great naturopath, and that really helped, to guide me. And boy, was it good.
Yeah, okay.
Incredible.
Naturopath, yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So you use like dandelion flowers and milk thistle.
Yep.
To clean out the liver.
Yep.
And the gut as well.
Yeah, and glutamine for the gut, and and ciprialum and all that. So fantastic. And and just magnesium, because my nervous system was dysregulated. I said I went to acupuncture each week. So I had different modalities, but boy, did that make a difference. Yeah.
So I'm just going to add to what you're saying about the sympathetic state and the parasympathetic state. So sympathetic is, like you said, it's the nervous system overreacting. And that's another podcast I can talk about that. Yeah. About the sympathetic nervous system overreacting. But what actually happens is that we're in it, with these people that with the the go can't stop. They're in a sympathetic state anyway. So what happens is, what the acupuncture does is, the brain doesn't know if it's been stabbed by a little pin or a 12-inch knife. It has no idea.
Yep.
It doesn't know. It just knows it's been stabbed. So it thinks the worst. It thinks it's a 12-inch knife, right?
Yeah.
So what happens is the heart rate speeds up. Boom, 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 boom. They get a little palpitation. They might even feel it, but it will speed up. The heart rate does speed up. We found this out through PET scans, and also through blood pressure monitorization.
Wow. And
what happens is then, but the blood vessels open up too. So it's like a mini fight or flight. Wow. It's like I got stabbed. It's we either fight or we
panic.
Or get the hell.
Fight.
Fight or flight. Yeah. So then after about 5-10 minutes, the brain figures it out and says, hey guys, it was just a little pin. It wasn't the 12-inch knife like we thought it was. Then what happens is the heart rate slows down, but the blood vessels stay open for 12 to 24 hours.
Wow.
So then you go into what they call a parasympathetic state.
Yeah.
Okay. So then what happens is the neurons are getting the nutrients and oxygen and blood that they need, because the blood vessels are open up. And what happens then is it down regulates the neurological system. So the signals slow down. The signals slow down everywhere, not just in your heart, also in your brain.
The whole body.
Yeah, because what's happening is the blood is coursing through the body at its pinnacle.
Yeah.
And that's why you feel euphoric after acupuncture.
Right. Okay. It's I have to say, and all your listeners, and I say that to my clients too, supplementation like ashwagandha is great, don't get me wrong, I use that too, but boy, oh boy, having acupuncture, especially if you're burnt out, especially if you have hyperactivity and you have adrenal problems, cortisol's flip. Oh, I was actually thinking it's a very good alternative to Valium. Thank you very much. And and I have to admit, one thing I did do is just because I had what we call hyper graze, so my heart was going out of its. I thought I was having a heart attack. I had to do Valium once or twice. That's all. And I thought, I can't go and stay on this stuff. It's medicine. I don't want it. And I went and did acupuncture. Yep, same result, same feeling, and it was incredible. The heart was going down. It was back into parasympathetic and phenomenal. Yep, love.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely great modality. Yep.
Yeah. And so I just want to point that out for people so they can understand better what acupuncture does to you.
That makes sense.
Now, nutrition. You said that. Did you? So you only got 3 macronutrients to choose from.
Yeah.
So was it? So did you sort of cut out a lot of the processed foods and
I cut out. I mean, for someone who knows to eat properly, I wasn't really at the time. I was stressed out, everything else, and I ate terrible food. So processed foods, sugars, and I went more on natural sugars. So sugars, you name it. It was probably more that the processed foods, gluten, the dairy, and I went off all those and had my carbs like sweet potato, for example. Found grains. I found over time you start to really have that more awareness of how your body reacts, and grains don't agree. Even now they don't. Grains, rice, etc. And I went on probably more of a whole foods paleo, if you want to say that, and it was terrific. But it's not just one thing. Nutrition is a huge interest in how your body actually reacts. And Dr. Scott, for a lot of my clients, including me, was sometimes going back to the basics and looking at what food or drink or whatever lifestyle actually reacts in your body, actually sitting back and thinking about, gosh, how do I feel after I've had that? When I had this situation or I dealt with it, how did I feel afterwards? So it's really taking, really look at yourself and a review as to what you're going on in your life. And it's usually a few different factors, especially for people in burnout. Yeah.
Yeah, well, the people that are in, the go can't stop. It's ADHD. Covered up by PTSD, but they go. They especially with women. I found that they want to look after everyone else. That's the problem because they don't have time.
Yeah,
they don't have time to get sick.
Yeah, until you're forced to. Yeah, and then you're like,
to get sick.
Yeah, you got no time until you're in bed and you can't get out of it. And you're like, okay, you've really got to review. You're right. It's people who are, and this is coming from myself, my experience, and other people I've worked with, people who are high achievers, sometimes perfectionists, put a lot on themselves. A lot of people don't put it on themselves. They put it on themselves and then run till their body goes, that's it. Something's got to give, and we're going to stop.
Absolutely.
Now.
Yep. That's exactly how it is.
Yeah.
That's exactly how it is.
Yeah. We're going to stop now. Yeah.
And they just push themselves. I call it cycles.
Yeah.
So they push themselves until they crash, physically crash.
Yeah.
So they're bedridden. These people, when it's really bad, they will go to work with a broken leg.
Yeah.
They'll be there typing away with a cask.
Yeah.
With a cask on one arm.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
Like, didn't you just break your arm?
Yeah.
Didn't you just break your arm this morning? Like,
it's true, Dr. Scott. I was one of those, and you're right. I was one of those, and even when I was that sick and I was in bed, could hardly get out, I still did part-time work. So, you just got to say, hang on a sec, what's going on? I need to look at my life. Yeah, you really got to review it. And PTSD, absolutely, lots of things, but yeah.
Yeah, well, a lot of things can cause it, but so you see it, and see that's really good that you recognised it. So a lot of people don't. I'd say a 1 in 5 would have this. About 20% of the population will have it.
Yep.
And they don't even know they got it.
No, they do not. No,
because they're too busy.
Yep.
It's like this drum that's beating in them that's saying, you got to get this done. You better get this done. You better get this done. You better get this done. What am I getting done? I don't know. Just get it done.
Yeah. And that's all they know. And then I've actually had people from my Facebook actually channel where they've said to me, "Oh, I can relate. Wow, thank you. I talk about my experience, and they go, "Wow, I have that.
Yeah.
I never realized." I was actually talking to a friend on the weekend. She said, "I have burnout." I said, "Yeah, I know." So sometimes, you can see that, but until someone gets to that epiphany or gets that realization and go, "Oh, that's me." Yeah, you don't. You don't realize, or you don't want to. Yeah,
We just don't
yeah.
have time. They don't
You
have
don't have
time.
time. Yeah, no
They
time for
don't.
burnout. I've got no time for that. Thanks.
Yeah. That's what you hear. And
Yeah,
you'll be doing the consultation. They say, they'll look at their watch and they'll go, "How long is this going to take?"
yeah. I know.
That's a big
I know.
indicator.
I know.
Yeah, okay.
What about time out for you? I know. I've got you don't realize the time. I said, yeah, I get that. Yeah, and I've been there. So, yeah.
All right. So we're just going to introduce. Ashok. Ashok says, "Hi, I'm a huge fan of alternative care.
Brilliant.
Doctors shouldn't indoctrinate. Well, unfortunately, mate, that's what they do. That's what they're taught.
Yeah.
That's what they're taught. Acupuncture pinpoints for the healing. Yeah, that's right, mate.
Yeah.
And we all fall when we push perfection.
Yeah.
That's very true, mate.
Yeah,
that's very true. So thank you for your comments, Ashok. Appreciate it, mate.
Thank you.
Where are you from, Ashok? I'd like to know. So if you comment below, he's watching us from LinkedIn. So you recognise that you can obviously realise that you need to address it, and so what else did you do as well to help yourself recover from these autoimmune problems? If you don't mind me asking, actually, before I ask that question, what were you diagnosed with? What if that's okay?
Graves' disease, so thyroid, so autoimmune thyroid condition. Now switched, it goes to between the both Hashimoto's, and celiac. My doctor, who's a functional doctor, I'm seeing now, because I'm so reactive to gluten and get very, very sick. We don't need to test me for celiac. It's pretty obvious that I am celiac, so I'm just too sick. I couldn't do it to get the test. But celiac. So celiac and autoimmune thyroid. Yeah.
So I don't believe in autoimmune issues. I'm not a big fan of it. I think it doesn't make sense that the body's fighting itself. I think that true. Doesn't matter. Anyway.
I'm questioning that too. I have questioned that, Dr. Scott, many times. Yes, me too.
So I was going to say, so it makes more sense that it's inflammation everywhere.
Yes. Yep.
And they actually did research in the 60s, and they found that antibiotics work better for autoimmune problems. But for some reason, they don't implement it.
Oh.
So they knew about it They knew about it in the 60s. They just didn't implement that protocol.
Wow. And I mean, like on the alternative side, antibiotics can, affect the microbiome, but they do use for Lyme disease, for example. They do look at, I know that because I was thinking about Lyme for so many things, but whatever. And antibiotics if you get it early on, and that makes a huge difference. So yes. Oh, there you go. Wow. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So when it comes to celiacs, my theory is I can't prove it. I'm not big on creating research papers for something that's theoretical. But I believe it's because we've altered the breads, especially
we have hybridized the wheat.
Yeah, well, they mill it and they separate the germ and the bran from the what's left, which is a simple carbohydrate.
Yeah.
And on top of that, then they bleach it. That's why it's a white color.
Yeah.
So no wonder for me, I believe it's the body just can't recognize it. It just goes, "What the hell is this?"
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you giving me?
Yeah,
So it
and
doesn't
there's
recognize.
yeah, Dr.
Doesn't
Scott, I 100%. And in Europe, a lot of people who have issues with gluten are fine over there because they don't hybridize the wheat and whatever else they
Yeah,
do
that's
with
right.
it.
They don't mill it.
Yeah, and then also, Dr. Scott, there's toxins that we put in our body in a lifetime can also change the way we able to detox and able to break down foods as well. So that can add to that too.
Yeah, that's why the celiac has gone through the roof.
That's right.
Since the late 80s, because that's when they
right.
changed the bread, and also milk. Milk is another one.
Yep, huge one. Yep.
Because they started, well, that was in the 70s. The 70s, they started heating it up. What's it called? I
can't think of the word either.
So homogenizing is where they just add chemicals. Yeah, that's where they add chemicals to it and they water it down.
Yeah.
But it's
there's a process.
There's a process before that. It's a French scientist recognized it, because what it does is it kills the bugs, but it also alters the fat in the milk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Almost had it.
I know.
Almost had it.
I've gone out of my. But it's
where they heat up the milk. They heat up the milk.
Yeah, and also, Dr. Scott, it's what they're doing with the cows who are full of antibiotics. They're not in, they're feeding off chemicals, whatever they're doing, and that then in turn comes to us as well. So it's everything else that's been changed and modified, and that they put in everything, and that's food included. I mean, everything. Look at what they do with our water. So putting fluoride, etc. So. There's so many things we have to deal with, but for people that are dealing with burnout, sometimes it's just dealing with one factor or one thing at a time, because the body's just overloaded with so many things, so many issues, and the person's just overwhelmed, that it's good to just look at a couple of different things. But yeah, gluten and dairy, it's changed.
Pasteurized, that's it.
That's it. Pasteurized. Well done.
Yeah. Pasteur. Dr.
Yes,
Pasteur.
That's right.
He was the one. He was
Pasteur,
the one who.
Yes.
So yeah, I'll just introduce Ash. It's Ash, actually. Ashok. So yeah, he did meet me at Z. He's a psychiatrist in Canada.
Terrific.
I briefly met him, and yeah, he's right. Homogenized.
Homogenized. Yes, thank you.
Homogenized. Right. Yeah, so that homogenized is where they add chemicals to make it live long. To preserve the milk longer, because I don't know if you remember in the 80s and 90s, they used to give us the gold tops, and they only lasted 3 to 5 days. Yeah, anything more than 3 to 5 days.
That's right. You're right. They did.
The milk will curdle and they'll go off.
Yeah.
You look at it now; it's 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah. God.
That's what homogenizing does. Is they add chemicals to it to make it last longer, and to water it down. Why? Because we can make more money. Go figure.
Profit, yeah. And the good old days, weren't they, Dr. Scott? When they, God, I shouldn't show my age. When they used to deliver it to your door, but anyway, the old
gold tops,
and glass bottles, which were great, and deliver it to your door.
Well, I am too. But what was I going to say? You manage it, and you understand that the foods that 100%. You were eating are now we're causing a lot of problems for you.
Yes, a huge amount, huge. Yeah, always start with food and nervous system regulation. That's a big start. Yeah.
Yeah. So so tell us about what you're doing now. So you're helping people with burnout, and tell us about that. What are you doing for them?
So I have people who are dealing with burnout, and because they're, like I said, they're overwhelmed, they're in a heightened state, they're in the sympathetic state, and they're just overwhelmed. A lot of them are just frustrated, don't know what to do, and I just start them with looking at what they're doing in their life. Having a review of it. I always start with the symptom tracker, track what your symptoms are, really take note of why your body reacts when you're doing certain things or react to certain things, eat, drink, the way you stress, your stress, sleep, everything. And then we look at one factor. I'm really big on looking at one or two factors. Generally, I start with sleep and stress, and start with that, and then go from there, and then get on to things like gluten-free, because a lot of people have reactions to gluten. They're just not aware of it. Start with that, and then others. For most, some just want to go all in and we do everything. Sleep, stress, nutrition, you name it, the whole thing. And that's for different people. But generally for people who are in burnout or heading towards there, I do very small, sustainable steps to help people. Yeah.
And do you notice that the all of them that have this burnout can't sleep?
Yes, huge. So that's usually like, your adrenal exhaustion, cortisol. Their cortisol's flipped.
Yeah.
And they and when I say to people, what does that look like? I say, well, at 3 o'clock, do you have a slump where you feel like you need a coffee and energy drink? At night, do you have a second wind where I'm ready to go, where you really need to slow down and get ready for sleep? Yep. So sleep is a huge thing. Even just working on sleep is a big thing. The only thing I'll say, and I say that from my experience too, and some of my clients, Dr. Scott, is that you you can be a perfectionist and want to do everything perfectly. Then you get obsessed. Well, hang on, I didn't go to sleep properly. I didn't have my 2 hours before 12. I didn't have my 8 hours. And then you analyze it and you're like, oh my goodness me. And then you stress yourself out. So really small steps, and pat yourself on the back. If you have a couple of nights good sleep, that's fantastic. Chill. If you had a good meal that day, fantastic, great. Like, recognize that. And another thing I will add is that for me, and I know other people, unfortunately, it's not an overnight fix. It's probably years to get yourself in burnout, or even an autoimmune or an inflammation. I agree with the inflammation. Years for that. So it's going to take a long time to really get back to where you want to be. It's not an overnight, but just enjoy the process, and congratulate yourself on the way. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the other problem.
Yeah.
We're good at bagging ourselves.
I know.
We're not very good at saying you did a great job.
No, we're not. And just sitting back and just reflecting and going, yep, that's pretty cool. And if you have a setback, you have a setback. Then analyze what happened to that. What happened with the setback. It's how you come back from that. We all have that. I have it. I've gone back into burnout a couple more times. I'll be honest, Dr. Scott. I go, okay, stop again. And then you just go, yep, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
And it's not an easy fix.
No.
Burnout, because it does come. That's the problem.
Yeah.
So tell us about how you've helped someone in the past. Give us a testimonial if you can.
Sorry, what was the question again? Say that again, Dr.
Scott. Tell us about how you've helped someone in the past.
Yeah, so I had someone, they were leading towards burnout. Again, one of those people that, like me, didn't know that they were in burnout or getting towards burnout. So I helped them, and I could tell that they were having difficulties from what they said about gluten. So they said, I don't want to do all the hard stuff. I said, right, just start going gluten-free. Go gluten-free. I'll give you some ideas on what gluten-free is. There's so many options out and you can go and buy gluten-free. And sleep. So they were the two things I focused on. And once they started realizing, wow, gluten's made a big difference getting off it, and I didn't realize how tired I was. It wasn't just burnout. I was tired from the gluten. And then sleeping properly. I helped them get through sleep. And over time, they started to change their whole attitude. They were more focused. They actually felt less stressed. They could get through more through the day with doing less. And then they got better and better, and ended up working on the gut and then other things, but it took a while. Yeah, much better and more improved, and energy, focus. And they said, wow, they didn't realize they were not feeling well for a long time. They just kept going, like you said before. Yeah. And and I've had another person who was in burnout, and then slowly over time started to do things like stress, sleep, nutrition slowly. and then started to improve. Yeah. So yeah, it's great to see.
And what sort of age group are we talking that you helped as well?
Yeah, well, I thought about the other day. I've had people, men and women, from 20s right through to 60s, 70s. So I've had all different range. I don't put a range on it now because unfortunately, I mean, I have students that I train and I can't do as a coach, and I can see they're getting a burnout. They're doing so much busy. So, unfortunately, we have such busy lives these days that I see it in all ages, men, women. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And one thing that they've got to recognize is that, if you've had this most of your life, because people don't get this overnight, they get it for many, many years.
Many years.
Usually, from what I found, it's the first 10 years of their life. They get it. And the problem is with that, you've got to try and explain it.
I know.
This is not you've had this 40 years or 20 years or 30 years.
Yeah.
And you can't expect a quick fix with something that you've had for 30 odd years.
That's right.
It just doesn't happen.
That's right. And you know what? It's also a bit of the grief. Like for some people, they've been so used to going to a doctor saying you can have a pill for this ill, whatever. And they're going to them, and then all of a sudden something major happens, and the doctor says, well, you have to have this. And then they come back, so it's not working. I still feel terrible. But then you're something wrong. Maybe you're not sleeping well, you're not eating well, or you're making it up. And then they go, but I don't understand. This doctor I've seen. And then they go from doctor to doctor, and then all that process and overwhelm. And then they're like, ugh. So there's so much of that as well, unfortunately, that,
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I see it a lot.
Yeah.
I see it a lot.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I'll just go to Ash again. So Ash was saying that, he's back in Canada. He said 3 glorious weeks in Australia. Great shows. Thanks, mate.
Great.
Thanks, Ash.
Thanks.
And he also said, I believe burnout is often the result of a loss of self-empathy in a toxic system.
Well said.
Hallelujah, brother.
Well said. Thank you. Well, brilliantly said. Yeah.
So, and that's very true. And that comes back to, the teachings that happen from an early age. And it's all about achieving and at any cost.
Yeah.
From what I can see, what they taught us.
Yeah.
So, you're 100% right, Ash.
Yeah. And Dr. Scott, I get concerned because, like I said, I've got students I'm training, and they are on the social media and the phones. They are forgetting about the importance of communication, of slowing down. I've got to do this and I've got to do that, but then I've got this and I said, just slow down, appreciate what you've done already, congratulate yourself, sleep well. And I teach as many as I can for the younger generation. We need to teach because they've just so caught up in the business of life and trying to compete against each other and social media and all that sort of stuff. And they're just not living in the now and having, just a fun time as they should when they're older. I mean, just, and being more in the present moment. But, so sad to see that.
Well, they just don't know any different. And they were told to achieve things.
That's
and the problem
right.
is, the problem is that, yes, they're going to achieve things. They will. They can't help it.
Yep.
They'll go to midnight to do stuff. They can't help it.
Yeah.
And the problem with that is, yes, you will get stuff done and you'll do better than majority of people. But the problem is eventually it's going to catch up with you. That's the issue.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what I was saying before, the cycles, you go until you crash, physically crash, and then you'll be bedridden for a day or two. You might even be half a day. And then you go, and then it might take 3 months, 6 months, and then you crash again physically.
Yep.
And then what happens is the go gets shorter.
Yeah.
And the crashes get longer. Yeah. And this is what I'm seeing.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is what I'm seeing in the elderly, is that they can hardly walk.
Yeah.
They can hardly. Why? Because they just work their worked themselves to the point where they
They have. Yeah.
can't move.
Yeah.
And then they go crazy. They go nuts.
Yeah.
Because they got this imaginary tiger always chasing them.
I know.
And now the tiger's caught up with them because to combat that fear that's always there.
Yeah.
They go and do stuff, and now they can't physically do stuff.
It's very unfortunate. And I've worked in aged care, and I know about aged care well, and people who are aging aren't aging well. People who are getting older, aren't aging well. And I always say it's about functionality, not aging. And we are not aging as society. We're not aging well. We're stressing ourselves, like you said, out, eating terrible foods, on lots of medications, not eating great food, just lots of things. And it's so sad to see. Yeah.
Absolutely. And what was I going to say? Burnout. But I'm seeing it earlier now. I'm seeing it, there's peripheral neuropathy. Get used to those two words: peripheral neuropathy, periphery, hands and feet, neuropathy, and that's where they can't feel their hands and feet. What happens is they have such bad circulation in their hands and feet that they just lose all sensation. They can't feel, so they walk funny. You'll see every now and then I'll go to the shopping center. I'll see someone go, "Oh yeah, they've got it."
I used to have the way they walk. Dr. Scott, I had that. Yeah.
Yeah, you walk like
for me it was B12. For me it was B12. But and you can't feel your fans, your feet, and you're right. You walk funny because you can't feel your feet. It's just it's a horrible feeling. That is.
Yeah, so that the neurons basically lose all the nutrients because of bad blood flow.
Yep.
And that's amazing that you found out about B2.
Yeah, very low on B12, severely.
B12, is it? B12,
very severe. Okay. Yep, B12, very severe. So bad, yeah. So, that's improved a heck of a lot. Amazing. But, again, you have to be your own doctor. You've got to start investigating. Investigate, be like a detective, so to speak, and really look at everything. And you're right in the way you live, but also get tests and see what's happening. And I'm glad I did. And I just kept pushing and pushing until I got something. Yeah, we've got to be our own advocate, really.
That's the problem, and it's not a bad problem. The problem is that the hardest part is breaking away from I need to go and see God, and God will tell me what I need to do. That's the hardest part, breaking away from that idealism. Yeah. And saying, well, I don't need God to tell me what to do, and I should be able to figure this out myself.
Yep.
And get information from other people that are not the mainstream, and that's the hardest part.
Yeah, it's huge.
It's a mental war.
It is
battle.
It is, and I applaud people who have literally, seen the doctor for everything. And my clients, I say that, and then said, well, hang on, this is not working. Doesn't mean I can't work with them. Not at all. I'm not saying that. But I want to look at other things and then do that. Good on them. I think it's marvelous. But sometimes you get to the point where you're like, I have to do something and it's not working. Yeah.
All right. That's it. That's very true. So I'll go back to Ash. He's a wealth of knowledge today. Good on you, brother. So to back, we don't have a dashboard like cars do.
Cars do.
Then you don't know when you've run out of gas. Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
That's very true. There is no.
That's very true.
Yeah, there's no needle. There's no gas needle.
Nope.
To tell you when you're going to run out. No. Exactly right.
No.
Well, we're not taught to anyway, Ash. We're not taught to listen to the little intricacies of our body to say, hey, there is something, and that is something you have to learn yourself.
Yep.
The doctor never gives you any information on how to listen to your body.
No.
You got to learn that one yourself, I'm sorry to say.
Yep. No, it's true. We've lost the art of listening. So, and your body, eventually will say, okay, that's it. You're going to listen. You're going to be forced to listen.
You're like, that's what happens.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't believe that you have to listen to your body because they weren't taught. They weren't taught that. They weren't told that. Yep. So who do they go to? They go to God to get the answers from.
Yeah.
And God doesn't even know how to listen.
No. Yes, that's true.
Some of them don't even use a stethoscope anymore.
Yeah.
They Google it.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we have to listen to ourselves. Yeah.
Absolutely. So just give us one more testimonial where you've helped someone with their issues, with their health issues. Please.
Yeah, I've actually helped. I have had some clients that haven't had burnout, luckily, and I've just had one that just wanted to improve their health, and it was marvelous. So they were looking at just sleep and stress and just some basic nutrition, and just that could have got them on, to that pathway if they had continued and changed it and reversed just it was like tiredness they were feeling, a couple other things, and that was great. And then they did that, and then they decided they might go and do some health on their health journey and maybe a health coach. So I love that. That was another one. I love that because it was just, a one that was easy to deal with, but thankfully they recognized it early on, and marvelous. I love that.
All right. And I'll go on to is there anything else you wanted to say about your business, Leesa?
Yeah, Dr. Scott, it's just that I'm, I love to help people. I know what it's like to be in a situation. I know it's like when your body's screaming at you, don't listen, and then what you have to do to get it back. I've been there, done that, and if I can help anyone in any way, that's what I'm here for. And you're the same, Dr. Scott. It's just, but again, it's not just one thing you have to look at. It's usually a few different factors. Yeah.
All right, then I'll just go into the last two questions. So tell us, you sort of already glimpsed on what you're after, but tell us, who's your ideal client? Who's the one that you like to help the most?
Yeah, my ideal client is a busy person who is either on their way to burnout or burnt out, and who just wants small, sustainable steps or strategies to get back to recovery. Yeah, that's my ideal. An ideal client is always someone who realizes that it's not going to be overnight fixed, but it's a collaborative approach that we do together.
Absolutely. That's very well said, Leesa.
Yeah.
And I'll go on to the last question. So tell us, Leesa, what ideas or information would you give to provide lifelong longevity? You sort of already answered this question.
Yeah. Good nutrition, good sleep, good stress, and I, again, using modalities. I say acupuncture because I love it. Acupuncture and other modalities, having nurturing good relationships around you with friends, family, whatever that is, and joy and fun. We just lost the art of fun sometimes. So just having a bit of fun and laughing, just things like that, I think are terrific. Like you look at the blue zones where people live a long time in the world, and that's what they come up with. It's those sort of essential factors, and I agree 100%.
And that's great advice. Much appreciated, Leesa.
Yeah.
So I'll just go on to Ash. You guys are amazing. Kept me listening while I played my electric guitar.
Oh, cool.
So I'm trying to learn too, mate. So it's awesome.
Great.
So thanks very much for coming on, Leesa, and giving some gold nuggets of information. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
And because you didn't bag me too much, I'm going to give you access to my health club. So I've got an online health club.
Great.
So it's normally worth $11. So you get 1 month for free.
Right.
I give you information about meditation, nutrition,
fantastic
exercise, EFT, emotional freedom technique.
I love tapping. Sorry, I forgot about tapping. I love tapping. Yeah, go on.
Roadblocks in your mind, disc profiling, who you are, acupuncture and Chinese herbal medicine. I go into detail about that. There's 9 modules, and disease, the 8 leading chronic diseases, which are killing hundreds of thousands of Australians every year. And the problem is the numbers are getting worse every year.
Yes, they are.
So I'll give you access to that. So thank you so much, Leesa.
Oh, thanks.
Appreciate your time.
That's terrific.
Thanks for coming on. I'd love your feedback. I'd like to hear what you think about those 9 modules. It'd be appreciated.
Thanks, Dr. Scott. You will. Thank you.
Same for you, Ash. We'll get in contact with you. We obviously I'm in contact with you on LinkedIn. So appreciate your time, mate, for coming on as well, and have a little.
Thank you.
All right, guys, you've been watching the Get Busy Living podcast with the wonderful Leesa Green. You have a good day, guys, and take care.